Hello, everybody. My name is Kamora, and today we will be reviewing our fifth installment of the first season of Bubble Guppies, Season 1, Episode 5, Ducks in a Row. In this episode, the Bubble Guppies want a marching band, but a duck interrupts, so Nani ends up leading it. I really like this episode. The whole marching band aspect was always my favorite. This is what always grabbed me into this episode. I love it so much. We have Nani walking to school, and he sees a marching band, and he applauds them. And then the marching band leader says, "We make music and play together at the same time." But during rehearsal, a duck follows follows them, and at first they don't know why the duck is following them. And then even the marching band leader says, "We can't keep on practicing with this duck in the way." So then Nani moves the duck over, and then he's like, "Stay right here, duck." And I like it how the conductor says, um, "Thanks, Nani. You really know how to talk to that duck," which is really funny. And then he makes it to school, and then on his way, he's marching. And then Una and Dima look at him like, "What are you doing?" And then he says, "I'm marching, like in the marching band I saw earlier." And I like it how they're like, "Oh," that was really cute. And then he explains what he saw, and Dima says, "Did they have a piano?" And then Nani says, "I don't think I see a piano." And then they explain, um, um, what do marching, um, what instruments would you see in a marching band? And then they play one of my favorite songs in the series. The band plays on, like that song slaps every single time I hear it. And then it's the marching band march, which I really like it so much. Gil wants to find a drum, and Una, yeah, Gil wants to find a drum to keep the beat when he's playing, and which is a percussion instrument, and Una wants a trumpet to blow in, and that's a wind instrument. So that taught me something when I was a kid. So then it's time for lunch, and then Nani has a tuba fish sandwich, and honestly, I'm so lucky that that part was a joke because they're fish, tuba fish, fish eating fish. Cannibalism. I'm sorry, but anyway, then we cut back to Molly and Gil, and then Gil is complaining that there's something stuck in the tuba, and then Bubble Puppy pops out. No. First, he's playing the tuba the wrong way, and then he explains something might be stuck in there because it's not sounding the way he wants it to. And then Bubble Puppy pops out of there, and then when they're playing marching band, and then everybody's just making a lot of racket. And to be honest, I did not like the noises when I was a kid. Maybe because I have like noise sensitivity. But then the other guppies think that Nani should lead them, and Mr. Gruber gives him a whistle, and then he decides to blow the whistle, and he thinks maybe that will work again, but it turns out it doesn't. Everybody else just keeps on doing what they were doing before Nani had the whistle, which is I felt bad for him. But anyway, then they have the dance song, the band dance, which I really like that song as well. And then they have the storybook segment, the cowhand marching band, where they have where this is bandit who's an armadillo, which is the marching bandit, and then they steal their cows because they keep the beat to have their cows following them with a drum. And then the marching bandit takes a nap, and then the cowhands have to figure out how to keep the beat without their drum because he's holding it and sleeping without it. I mean, he's holding the drum, so they have to be really sneaky. So then they clap instead to keep the beat, which is really clever. And then they start chasing him, and then they go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they clap. And then they finally made it to the cattle ranch, and then all the cows are safe and sound. And then they hear the marching bandit yelling for help when he's around a whole bunch of rattlesnakes. And then they say, "We're gonna get you out of there." And then, quite surprisingly, he says, "Well, hurry up, because then I'm gonna get you." Even, and I was like, "Dude, come on, don't do that to them." And even Molly says, "Well, that wasn't very nice." And then they have a sneaky idea. They tell him to close his eyes, and they clap him. They clap him out of the away from the rattlesnakes, right into jail, which was really clever. And then, just like any other Bubble Guppy villain, they promise they'll be good, And then they become good friends with the protagonist, and they all live happily ever after. And of course, he gives them back their drum. And then we come back to Molly and Gil again, and then and then he tries to blow the tuba again, Gil, and then he still thinks something's stuck in there. And then it turns out a little fish, a little fish comes around and blows the tuba, which is really really funny. Bubble Puppy did the same thing. He wasn't in the tuba. He blew into the tuba. I'm sorry. And then I like how Gil tells Bubble Puppy to stay there because he didn't want him to do the same thing again. And when the fish is about to blow in the tuba in his face, he's like, "Stay." Oh man, that's really funny. And then we cut open to the field trip, which is at the marching band, and then everything's going so good until all the ducks coming onto the fields, and then they decide to cancel it, and then the conductor says, "We can't perform with all these ducks in the way." But luckily, ironically, Nani dressed up as marching band person himself still has his whistle. And I like how Dima's like, he's got his whistle. She does the same thing in the cowgirl parade, but we'll talk about that when we do in season 2. So then he goes out to the field, and I like how Mr. Grouper says, "Go on, Nani, it's all up to you." And I like how Nani says, "Hello, ducks." Like, so fun. That would make me laugh. And then first he blows his whistle, and then the ducks start making music of their own. And then later later in the song, the marching band joins in, and then they all make music together, which sounded really really catchy. And everybody's applauding for Nani because he saved the day. He saved the marching band, and I give him full respect for that. Full respect. And I towards the end how the conductor gave him a hug, which was really really sweet. He came up there and gave him his props, which he deserves. And then last segment, Gil wants to try the tuba one last time, and then he tells not just Bubble Puppy but the little fish to stay there. And then, quite surprisingly, a duck is in the tuba and quacks in his face and scares Gil away, which ends the episode. I like this episode really, really much. The songs were such bangers here. I love it so much. This episode really made me want to march around. Whenever it was on, made me really want to march. Made me play with my toy instruments. It was like, it was really fun. So I'll give this episode I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9. I feel like it's not really a 10 because I feel like some parts of the episode might have been a teeny tiny bit rushed to me. So maybe that's why. But hey, don't worry. It's still a really good episode. Good songs. I like it. I really like it. So, tune in with me for our next episode where I will be reviewing a personal favorite of mine, Season 1, Episode 6, The Grumpfish Special. See you all next time.